What's up guys, this is Astranox balance adjustment preview. We have some interesting stuff in here. Some really nice buffs for some of the heroes down here. So we have Maid Chloe. Maid Chloe finally getting her buff. Very, very nice. I have Maid Chloe on a few accounts. Can't wait to try her out. Cecilia, she's getting buffed. I mean, it's not a huge buff. Exclusive equipment effect going on her skill and then changing the exclusive equipment. So yeah, it's a buff nonetheless. Flan is going to be really powerful. Like, she's Tywin, but then, you know, she can be fine versus evasion-based heroes. She can land her defense break. She's got, you know, more debuffs. Gonna be really interesting, and she can get 10 souls with her own artifact. And yeah, she's got the extra turn now. So that's gonna be really interesting. I can't wait to try that out. Mercedes, well, she will deal more damage. You know, initial hero that you get when you start the game. I'll eventually try her out. Like, she could potentially deal some decent damage. Her multipliers have always been pretty decent actually. So I'll eventually get to try her out. Hazel and Mascot Hazel, I mean, they are better. They're better, more healing, dispelling. It's after the healing, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll talk more about all these things more in depth as I go down here with the details. And we have Carrot and Researcher Carrot. So Carrot is looking pretty solid, guys. Yeah, that's some nice buff that she's getting. Now, Chaos Axe, right? Church of Ilrios Axe, God Axe, Axe God, I mean. I've used him a lot in the past. He was a lot of fun, but the issue is that you need to have some bulk on him, and then you build all that bulk, and then it doesn't help you to deal more damage. But they changed him to health based, like he's gonna be a bruiser. It's gonna be interesting. If some players were using him the way he was before, then that's really unfortunate because he's gonna be scaling based on max health and not so much off of attack anymore. So yeah, rip players that were using him like that. That's definitely unfortunate, and they're changing some skill mechanics too. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like they should have left him the way he was and improved upon it, not completely rebuild him. So yeah, that's really unfortunate because I did like the way he worked before. Cecilia, of course, her exclusive equipment is gonna get changed, right? Artifacts, Bloody Rose, Border Coin, and Ambrose. So Border Coin is going to be OP, guys. Like, that thing is crazy. That's just ridiculous how much stats you're getting out of that thing. And its tax. Bloody Rose, yeah, I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So let's start it off here with Maid Chloe. So her skill 1, stun, right? It stuns, and if you land the stun, well, you boost the combat units of every ally except, of course, Maid Chloe by 15%. This is going to be really interesting because, I mean, you can cut and you could be lucky and you can get an extra turn with her soul burn, and you could potentially do a nice CR push twice for the rest of your team. It's going to be cool. It's definitely going to be really cool, and landing a stun, I mean, you guys know how powerful stuns actually are. They're losing, you know, their turn, and they have to rebuild all their combat units. It's pretty insane, and you can combo stuns with, you know, Specimen Says, for example. So her skill 2, her passive, now gives effect resistance for all allies by 20%. Very good. I mean, depends how you're gonna use her, who you're gonna bring along with her. But effect resistance in quite a few cases will not help you that much, but maybe they end up, you know, resisting whatever debuff they're trying to throw at you, right? So there's also the fact that she's going to heal the 2 lowest HP allies, and that's really good because she used to heal herself and 1 ally at the lowest health threshold, right? But now it's going to be 2 allies, like, so that's great because a lot of players ignore her, let's say, and they're working on squishier heroes, but now she's going to be healing these 2 other allies. Very, very good, and the healing is based on her max health, which is great. And her healing was buffed. I don't know by how much. I read the you know, the summary, and they're not talking about how much the healing is getting improved, but I will definitely put her to the test, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, skill 3 dispels 2 debuffs. before actually giving you the revive buff for 3 turns and the attack buff for 3 turns. So that's really good because unable to buff debuff was blocking that thing. And I mean, let's say you have defense break, unable to buff debuff, like whatever 2 debuffs, you know, the first 2 in line will get dispelled, and then you have a much greater chance to actually be able to you know, get that revive and attack buff up because you probably removed the unable to buff debuff. Very, very powerful stuff right here. Maid Chloe is going to be awesome with these changes, and these are not small changes, right? Like every single skill got changed. So very powerful right here. I love the fact that she heals based on her own max health, the caster's max health, and you have her paired with squishier heroes. She's going to heal them for quite a bit, and that healing was increased as well. So we'll definitely see a lot more play out of Maid Chloe. That is guaranteed. So Cecilia, right? Her skill 1, the defense break skill for 2 turns. Now it says that when the target is inflicted with decreased attack, effect chance increased by 25%. So that's pretty good because the chance is 50%. Now it's 75 if they have attack break. And attack break is a debuff that she can land with her skill 2 called Steel Cloud Burst. And now the dispelling happens after you land the debuff. That's how it was on the exclusive equipment. And they are just putting that on the actual skill now, right? So that's pretty sick because that's a very powerful AoE attack. You cripple them, decrease attack, you know, for 2 turns. Very, very good. With the Soul Burn, you're able to just cycle that very fast, and you can keep that attack break on them permanently, unless it gets resisted, of course. But yes, 10 souls for the Soul Burn, and it's very good to cripple the enemy team. And you got the provokes, the immunity for your team, you got the defense breaks, the bulk of that hero, the Varien skill 3 on herself when she provokes. Then she's a knight, she can wear knight artifacts. Like, she's a very powerful hero, and if you have her and you like the bruiser playstyle, or you like to build like really tanky heroes to just tank whatever cleave they're trying to throw at you, or I don't know, like they're going with whatever speed comp and you just want to like stop that damage and sustain yourself, heal back up and just like, you know, like take them apart, Cecilia is actually great, right? So the only downside is that she's of the fire element. So now her exclusive equipment will decrease speed of all enemies for 2 turns when using Steel Cloud Burst, which, like I said, is skill number 2. So that's really good. Like, can you imagine, like, you permanently have attack break and speed down on the enemy team, and her base speed is pretty high actually for a knight, and you can build her as an initiator. Like, she could go first versus a lot of teams with the immunity buff for your team as well. Like, very powerful hero. And I can't wait to test her out because I have her plus 15 skill ups on account number 3. Now Flan. Flan is going to be really interesting because her Soul Burn was moved to the skill number 3 so she can get an extra turn. This is going to be really crazy. So what do we have here? The skill number 2, Data Monopoly. You get attack buff now. Attack buff is insane because you didn't get it before. That's like Tywin right there, and that will make her extremely dangerous. So yeah, you get an extra turn from the skill number 3 for 20 souls. So you need to have, well, you will need a Tegil's Ancient Book on a mage, right, to pull that off. At the start of the battle, you want to strip their immunity so you can pull off the combo of skill 3 into the skill number 2. Then you're gonna have like unhealable, you're gonna have defense break, you're gonna now reduce their combat chance by 15%, assuming it doesn't get resisted, right? But that's really good. Like that allows you to have, you know, whoever you're gonna push have less speed, unless it gets resisted, of course. But yeah, that's pretty nice. Now you got attack buff for 2 turns, you got a crit damage buff for 2 turns. It doesn't go over 350% crit damage, guys. I've tested it. But yeah, so you can build your hero with 300% crit damage or less and build just like more attack. And then like that's even stronger. That is stronger than Tywin if you build your hero properly, because you got 50% crit damage, right? You're gonna build more attack on your hero. And that's pretty crazy, man. You got the unhealable debuff as well, the CR pushback. that's going to be really insane. I can't wait to try her out, and the fact that she actually gives 10 soul with her own artifact as well when you use the skill 3. This will allow you to have 10 souls or more, of course, for your damage dealer that will follow up, since you already used 20 with her soul burn. Very cool. So Mercedes, she deals more damage with the Divine Bolt. And okay, Dimensional Rupture. This is skill 2, right? And that thing, it will activate again, right? If there are 3 enemies or less. But the damage of the second activation is less than the initial one, of course. So that's pretty cool. That is, well, yeah, that's more damage. That's really cool. So the skill number 3, it increases her attack after she deals the damage for 2 turns. This is like Celestial Mercedes. So yeah, I mean, that's good. That sets her up for dealing more damage afterward if you don't have an attack buffer in the team, and it will help newer players as well. Now I wonder if she could be used as a farmer. Of course, not versus a heavy ice stage, but she could be pretty powerful. I mean, she's not going to be on the level of Vildred, but you could probably pull off some pretty interesting stuff with Mercedes. Now you got the Free Spirit Tiara for a new player, of course, extremely powerful, but with Mercedes together, they could be quite devastating. So that's cool. Now Hazel, she increases combatness of herself. This urgent regen, this is actually skill number 2, and the healing is doubled instead of being 50% more. And actually, yeah, it's the same condition, it looks like, but it's double instead of 50%. So pretty cool right here, right? Like a few buffs here and there, but it doesn't look like she's gonna be like meta. She won't be competing with, you know, Montmorency. Like, she's not even close to that. But the thing is, she actually heals and then remove a debuff. It would be nice if the debuff, like the removal of a debuff happened before the healing. But of course, like, she's a 3-star hero. We can't expect too much out of her. And the other skill, no, that's the same. That's the Awakening, the skill 2 and the skill number 3. So yeah, this dispelling is on skill number 3. And then her runes got changed, right? Oh wait, I'm actually checking. I was just checking Hazel. Now Mascot Hazel is the same deal, right? The skill 2 push her combatness. The healing is double instead of 50% if you meet the condition. And then the that is the skill number 3 right here, and it dispels 1 debuff, but of course it happens after the healing, unfortunately. And now the runes, right? Mostly beneficial if you have a mono fire team. Your whole team's fire element, right? And if the target is a fire elemental hero, at least you don't need to be a mono team for the Harvest Rune, which is cool. 100% chance to dispel 2 debuffs. Very nice right there. And our achievement rune, what is that? Yeah, your whole team needs to be fire, and then you will recover health of all allies by 10% on top. So, okay, not too bad, right? And recover health of the ally with the lowest health by 5% with the Courage rune after using Book of Fire. And the AI was improved, so it heals, well, the priority is better now, right? Targeting heroes that might take damage more often than others or something like that. I guess that's the order of priority: Warrior, Thief, and then Mage, Ranger. I guess. Yeah, I guess that's how it works. No, actually, it's not all the classes, so it will target these classes first, and then it'll... Anyways, yeah, the AI improvement is always good. So Carrot, let me just move on to, man, like the specialty change, right? Like the specialty change version, which is right here. So we got skill 1, which now detonates burn effects at the end of the turn. And now that's not a chance, guys. And you don't need to soul burn to have a 100% chance. It is just built in 100%. So that's already really, really powerful. And she's not the only one that can land some burns, right? So you can combo her with other heroes that can land burns. So that is very nice. So like Holiday Euphine, for example. Now, the passive barrier effect can only be activated once per turn. Is that how it worked before, and they just have a tooltip change, right? Or, because, yeah, I think that's just like a text change or something. I think it worked that way before. So Now, the Flame Spurt, that is skill number 3, right? And you've got the Awakened version. Let's just go down there. So this is AoE, and then you got the Dispelling of 1 buff. Let me see here. You didn't have that. You didn't have that. Yeah, the non-awakened version, you see in green, Dispelling 1 buff before, you know, the chance to inflict burn effect for 1 turn. So very nice right here. If they have immunity, you can strip that off, unless Fallen Cecilia is, you know, there to protect the immunity first. But if you deal enough damage, you can break the barrier and take that immunity off. And the Soul Burn grants an extra turn, so you can combo skill 3 into the skill 1 to detonate the burn effects. So that's some nice like additional burst damage that you're gonna be able to do because of that. And she's a mage; she can carry Tegil's Ancient Book. Very cool. And now the runes, more attack right here. And then you have 100% chance to grant continuous healing to the caster for 1 turn after using a Flame Spurt, the skill number 3. And the burn effect chance is increased by 25%. So 100% chance to land the burn. Before it used to be 80% chance. So that's a nice buff right here. More consistent, always good. Of course, doesn't need to be, has to not be resisted, of course. And you've got, after being attacked, Dispel 1 debuff from the caster can only be activated once per turn. It used to be 50% chance. So reliable, very nice. And what do we have here? When the caster is health 80% or more, damage decrease received by, yeah, whatever damage you're going to be taking, 20% less. So again, more reliable, and it will happen more often because it's 80% HP or more, not max health like before. Very cool, definitely going to see more play out of Carrot. And now Moonlight 3-star Church of Ilrios Axe. Oh my boy, he got changed. Okay, let's move on to the, because I mean it's just an improved version, the specialty change. So Chaos Axe, Axe God. Okay, is he still going to be Axe God? Let's find out here. I mean, he needs to be tested, right? This is just like, they might change stuff before they implement this, and it's gonna happen on May the 13th from what I read at the start. So Disconnect, right? Attack with an axe, 75% chance to provoke for 1 turn. Damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's max health. Now, it used to be bleeding before, and now it's based on his max health. He's got good scaling off of it, like he has a lot of max health, and they're giving him more from the runes. So that is good. Now Attack Chain is skill 2, attacks all, and then grant immunity to the caster for 1 turn. That's good. Now the Soul Burn skill cooldown is decreased by 2 turns. Now this cooldown on this thing is 2 or 3 turn. It's 3 turns, something like that. Anyways, you're gonna be able to use this kind of non-stop if you have the souls, of course. So that's good. That's AoE damage, consistent AoE damage plus immunity on himself. Pretty good. But before, if you took out someone with Attack Chain, right, you get an extra turn. So that thing is gone. That thing is gone, and that's one of the things that made him really cool. Beside the skill 3 that hits like a truck with the defense break. So yeah, that's really weird, unfortunate that they did that, but hopefully it's for the best, right? It's like the old Chaos Axe is gone. Like, it's like they removed him from the game beside keeping the model. Because, yeah, he got really changed, like hardcore. Like, he was attack based before, now he's mostly health based, his scaling. So if you had gear on him, like, I'm sure they're gonna offer a recall for him, right? For people that built him, you know, the old way. So here, attacks all enemies with Shockwave, granting immunity to the caster for 1 turn. Damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's max health. After this thing is awakened, looks like it's not HP scaling before awakening. And skill cooldown is decreased by 2 turns, yes, with the Soul Burn. Now skill 3, what do we have here? We still have the single target attack that decrease defense for 2 turns, 100% chance unless it gets resisted. And then you got the 20% of the Chaos Axe's health recovered. And when the enemy is defeated, grants an extra turn to the caster. Now that's really cool. Like, it's not on skill 2 anymore, it's on skill 3. Now skill 3 will hit harder than skill 2. I'm pretty certain of it, right? The multiplier will be there for it. And that means you can combo skill 3 into skill 2, assuming you deal enough damage. But yeah, the thing is, before you defense broke with skill 3 and then you use the skill 2, if their defense broken, you're gonna hit like a truck against them. But now your defense breaking and your defense breaking after dealing the damage. Yeah, that's it. So you're not getting that damage amplification from defense break. So there's maybe less chances that you defeat the enemy. So you're gonna require your team to help you out. He's not gonna be able to solo unless they're really squishy. You're out gearing them. They don't have multiple layers of protection type of deal. So yeah, if you pull that off, it's gonna be really deadly. He's gonna stay longer on the battlefield. Health scaling, more damage based on health as well. And that was an issue before. He can get a lot of health. You gotta work for it though, but then his damage suffers because he's attack based before. Now you see the runes, he's getting more health, he's getting more, well, is he getting more health? That was 20% health, now it's gonna be 25%, but he's getting 15% defense. So it's not that much health more actually. If you look at it, he's just getting more bulk out of the defense. When attacking a light elemental target with a vigorous strike, penetrates defense by 40%. Now, that's the thing. It's not a full defense break because that's 70% of the target's defense. It's 40% versus light only. Still pretty good, especially when they have a bunch of immunity set. You don't want to strip that. So yeah, versus light, he is going to be quite dangerous, and you get a better chance to get that extra turn if you hit hard enough. So yeah, you can definitely build him with high crit damage, bunch of health, and well, you're gonna need some effectiveness if you want to land the defense break. And of course, it's gonna be rough to gear him out, so you're gonna need some pretty good gear to benefit from everything. So here, what else do we have? We have Obscurity Rune. After using attack chain, 50% chance to extend the duration of immunity buff granted to the caster by 1 turn. So that's good. It's not 100% chance, but you know, getting an extension of immunity is always good. This Disease Rune, when using attack chain, inflicts injuries on the target. Okay, so you're destroying their maximum health. The severity of injuries increases proportional to the damage dealt. Injuries decrease max health of the target by 10% every time this skill is used. So that is pretty cool right here. Attack chain is skill 2, so it's an AoE. So as the battle drags on, the short cooldown, the soul burn, actually he's going to be like really deadly. He's going to be really deadly if you use him properly, if he's well built and you're supporting him well, right? If he stays on the battlefield and you keep soul burning with him, he can make, well, not quick work, but he can definitely destroy a maximum health of, you know, bulky team. So that's going to be quite interesting. And he has the burst in his kit, especially versus light. So it's going to be a lot of fun, actually. Increases combat chance of all allies by 10% after being attacked by a light elemental hero. Now that is insane right here. That's insane because he has provoke on skill 1. And having him getting attacked, you know, 75% chance, that is pretty crazy, guys. Yo, free combat readiness for all allies. It's even for himself. They don't say not himself, they say all allies. It includes himself. Courage Rune, after being attacked, increases attack of the caster by 6%. Okay, yeah, he scales off of attack as well. You know, health, base, bruisers, they still scale off of attack. Now, maybe they made him scale a decent bunch by from attack on top of health. So we're gonna have to check the multipliers after he gets added in the files. Right, the change gets applied. Effect can stack up to 5 times. Man, that's pretty sick right there. 30% attack increase. So as the battle drags on, he's gonna get deadlier and deadlier as you destroy their maximum health. Yeah, it's gonna be easier with the Frenzy and RTA to land that burst, that combo of skill 3 and killing that light or another hero. Maybe they got like lowered, right, before, and then you combo into the skill 2. That's going to be quite devastating. A hero to watch out for. Hope he ends up, like, he pans out well. So here we have Bloody Rose, 5-star artifact. Now after attacking with single target attack, has a 50% chance to inflict vampiric touch on the target for 2 turns. So that's like Haste's skill Number 2, that debuff makes it so when you wait a second, when you attack that target, there's some health recovery. From what I remembered, is it I think it's everyone that attacks the target. I could be wrong. It could be maybe whoever applies it. It says yes. Yeah, it's just not activated by counter attack, dual attack, and extra attack. Yeah, so I think it's healing when whoever attacks that target, right? And if that debuff is on the target. So right there, that's a debuff. Yeah, I mean, something that you could use for like Wyvern, let's say on a mage. Something reliable. It doesn't help that much, but it's something. I don't remember that healing actually helping that much, right? It might be something like a life leech 5% effect. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm just like speculating at this point. Border coin's crazy, guys. Like it used to give 15% attack and it stacks 3 times. But that's still the case, but you're getting 10% speed stacking 3 times. Could you imagine? That's crazy. 30% more speed. Yeah. Very, very powerful. Like you build that thing and the value is going to be nuts. Completely nuts. Definitely way more worth using now. Well, after the buff, right? So we got Ambrode and this thing is now going to increase speed after using a basic skill and it stacks 5 times. So, I mean, a reliable way to get 10% speed on top of dealing 20% more damage with the basic skill. I mean, it's a win-win here. It's just something that is added on top of what we had before. So let us know what you guys think about all these changes. The buff, I mean, Chaos Axe, he looks really deadly, I'm not gonna lie. It's unfortunate that the old way that he worked was changed. I mean, it's not like it's a rework. Like some of the mechanics are still there, the model of course, but it's not a complete 100% rework of him. But it's gonna be interesting. I feel like he's gonna be way more deadly now, but I mean, if you are using like an attack-based team, now you're gonna have to be, you know, he's gonna be used more by players that build bruisers, right? So yeah, we'll see about that. I'll test all that stuff out whenever that gets released. But yeah, let us know about your thoughts about all these changes. Are you going to be using one of these heroes? Are you excited about one of these heroes or artifact getting changed? But that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you need an emulator to play Apex Event or other mobile games, the one that I was using previously on my laptop when it was working is in the description of the video with the instruction on how to install it properly. But that's going to be it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.